Hi there folks, and welcome back to Illustrating Edibles. As you can see, I have lots of new goodies to play with, to make art with. If you'd like to see the unboxing of the Heikala art box where I got all this great stuff from, go ahead and click the little tab in the right hand corner and go check that out. Something I've been trying to do since getting all these great supplies, including a real sketchbook, is actually planning out my pieces before I paint them. Who would have thought? If you plan the things out first, you're much more confident when you actually start to paint, and your piece looks better, and you're more confident about the piece. Isn't that crazy? Well, it's crazy that I'd never thought to do it before. I saw other artists do it, and I just never did it. Why? Probably because I'm lazy, and also probably because, you know, like with this one, I'm still getting used to the very fine tip pen, and I just really don't like how those turn out, but hey, I keep going anyway. I keep trying. Eventually, maybe I'll really like it. Until then, just gonna keep trying. So the first thing I did was use the pencil crayon to do a detailed sketch. The fine tip pen I used to make a more abstract sketch in a style I've been trying and again not liking very much. I've really been liking the black brush tip pen. I just like the line variations. I like that it looks very bold. And yeah, I like doing some loose sketching with it. And then later what I'll do is I'll put down watercolor paint first. Here I'm just mixing my colors. And those are the colored inks from the Heikala box, which I've been loving. You don't even need a drop. You just need, I just tap it onto my palette, and that's enough for a full piece, at least for me, because my pieces aren't very complicated. Now, you will notice not so much here, but in my bigger piece, I use a bottle with a little drip thing to add water to my colors, and you'll see it's happening here with the green, where I'm just getting this weird texture. I'm not getting a lot of like paint, like pure ink, and that is because there was some like oil residue in the bottle I was using to add water to the inks. So now I know not to do that for next time. Because otherwise the inks are so fun and great to work with, but I was using them here and thinking, oh god no, what have I done? Why are the paints not liking me today? But it's because there was technically like oil in them, so my bad. And yeah, here I'm just doing the swaths of color. One I'll use the brush tip pen on, and the other I'll use the fine tip nib. Just to see what I like, just to see what I want the big piece to be. I'm also new to color mixing, and I kind of like this angle. You can kind of see the slight reflection in my desk of what's on my screen. So right there I have an image of the Bunchberry up, but at one point I had a color wheel, and I know my berries look a bit brown, but I'm still figuring out how colors be. How do they work? But I was very happy. I figured out if I mix like a blue and a green, I get a really nice dark green that I'll use for detail. At least the paint dried nice. Like, you can tell the texture's still a bit off, but at least it dried properly, or dried decently. Gotta flip the sketchbook because I already have dipped my hand in wet paint already because I'm so impatient. Come on. So again, it really, that oil in the paint really didn't set me up for success. Both the brush tip and the fine tip really didn't like going over top. And the fine tip isn't waterproof. You can tell in that middle sketch there, it kind of bled a bit. So yeah, just not a pleasant experience to draw with a pen on top of oily paint that's not supposed to be oily. That's the dark green that I was able to get. Again though, still very oily, so not spreading how I like. But oh well, I still think it turned out, some of these turned out pretty nice. Gotta learn to not have unrealistic expectations, or even to have no expectations. Something I've been avoiding actually was I haven't been drawing because I feel like I need to film when I draw to, you know, make content, because otherwise what's the point? But that's what was stopping me from drawing, because I was like, oh, I don't want to set up, I just want to draw. So I actually did, you maybe saw before. And we're going with that one. That one's the winner. But yeah, it's just a matter of like doing it. This is the first time I'm using proper watercolor paper. I had to use a knife. I mean, you don't have to use like this big X-Acto knife. This is not an X-Acto knife, box cutter. We just happened to have this around, and it took me forever to realize that first page is not a proper watercolor page. It's just the front page to protect the other papers. So I had to cut another piece. But it was very satisfying to cut those pages because they're sealed with wax. So yeah, very satisfying. Oh, it's so pretty. But yeah, just to draw and have a good time doing it and playing with my new art supplies. Gotta realize that, you know, it's all about you get out of it what you put into it. It's like if I put all this pressure on myself, even here I was like, oh, maybe I should split this in half so I don't waste the paper. But it's like, drawing on the paper is not wasting the paper. That's what it's for. So just do it. Why not? You gotta close that knife, make sure it's nice and put away. It's very sharp. I'm just voiceovering this now and watching. Today was such a great day. I had so much fun doing this. So if nothing else, I hope this video inspires you to just do something creative for yourself that you've been wanting to do. Because I had such a ball and such a good time. Even though it didn't turn out exactly how I expected. Well, without further ado, you finally know kind of what the plant looks like. Let's get into it. We are still in herbs. I believe we left off with herbs last time. In the dogwood family with the bunchberry, or the Cornus canadensis. The scarlet fruits are edible, but opinions of their flavor range from insipid to good. They were eaten raw as a trail nibble and were said to be good cooked in puddings. Bunchberries, often mixed with other fruits, have been used whole to make sauces and preserves, or cooked and strained to make syrups and jellies. Some people enjoy the crunchy little poppy-like seeds. I enjoy poppy seed things, so if that's any indication, I would probably enjoy that as well. The bunchberry is said to have anti-inflammatory, fever-reducing, and pain-killing properties, rather like a mild aspirin, without the stomach irritation and potential allergic effects of salicylates. It has been used to treat headaches, fevers, diarrhea, dysentery, and inflammation of the stomach or large intestine. The berries were eaten and or applied in poultices to reduce the potency of poisons. They were also chewed and applied to burns. Bunchberries were steeped in hot water to make a medicinal tea for treating paralysis, or they were boiled with tannin-rich plants such as common bearberry or commercial tea to make a wash for relieving bee stings and poison ivy rash. Native peoples used tea made with the entire plant to treat aches, and pains, lung and kidney problems, coughs, fevers, and fits. The root tea was given to colicky babies. Oh, I was a colicky baby. If you don't know what that means, well, I only know I was a colicky baby because my mom told me so. I'm not quite sure what the medical term is, but she just said, you came out very yellow. So this is a perennial rhizomatous herb. So rhizomatous means that it has a subterranean stem that kind of grows horizontally. It also is 5 to 20 centimeters tall with a whorl of 4 to 7 wintergreen, 2 to 8 centimeter long leaves. Flowers are tiny in a dense clump at the center of 4 white to purple tinged petal-like bracts, forming single flower-like clusters about 3 centimeters across. Oh, so technically, that's not a flower. Those are just, the flower is the little dots in the middle. Interesting. From May to August, fruits bright red, berry-like drupes, 6 to 8 millimeters wide in dense clusters at the stem tips. It grows in cool woods and damp clearings at low to subalpine elevations in all provinces and territories. There is a warning here. Unripe berries may cause stomach aches, and large quantities have a strong laxative effect. Again, I am in no way, shape, or form an expert. Always consult an expert before putting anything from the wild into your mouth, into your digestive system. Do yourself that favor. Don't take my word for things. But thanks so much for coming along and learning about plants with me and watching me draw. I hope this brought you some joy. Take care.